Nitai Gaura Hariva 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 Gaura Hariva. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Ashtottara Sutta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya, BBT Founder Acharya, Savior of the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajikacharya Ashtottara Sutta Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava वृंद की, श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। Hare Krishna. My voice is little bad because of fever and cold. You have to tolerate. So this is from 11th Canto, 3rd chapter, verse number 30, chapter entitled Liberation from the Illusory Energy. So all of you repeat after me. Parasparano kathanam pavanam bhagavatyasah mithoratir mithastrushti nibrittar mitha atmanah parasparanukatana pavanam bhagavatyasah mithoratir mithastushti nibrittar atmanah parasparanukatana pavanam bhagavatyasah mithoratir mithastushti nibrittir mitha atmanah. Please repeat. Nibrittir mithatmanah parasparanukatana pavanam bhagavatyasah mithoratir mithastrushti nibrittir mitha atmana parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavatyasa Nivrittirmitha Atmana. Vaishnavis. Parasparanukathanam Pavanam Bhagavad Yasaha Mithoratir Mithastushti Nivrittir Mitha Atmana. What word translation, purport? By disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His disciples ki jai. Paraspara, mutual. Anukathanam, discussion. Pavanam, purifying. Bhagavat, of the Supreme Lord. Yasaha, glories. Mithaha, mutual. Rati, loving attraction. Mithaha, mutual. Tusti, satisfaction. Nivritti, cessation of material miseries. Mithaha, mutual. Atmanaha, of the soul. Translation. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. This process is most purifying. As devotees thus develop their loving friendship, they feel mutual happiness and satisfaction. And by thus encouraging one another, they are able to give up material sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Purport. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness should not envy one another or quarrel among themselves. Giving up all such mundane feelings, they should gather together and chant the glories of the Supreme Lord for mutual purification. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has pointed out that the glorification of the Supreme Lord is especially potent when performed in the association of pure devotees. When devotees engage in Sankirtan, chanting the glories of the Lord together, they experience the highest transcendental bliss and satisfaction. Thus, they encourage one another to give up material sense gratification, which is based on illicit sexual connections with women. One devotee will say to another, "Oh, you have given up sense gratification? Starting today, I shall also give it up." One should learn to increase one's love for the devotees, to satisfy them, and to give up sense objects unfavorable to serving Krishna. And one should learn to view the entire universe as paraphernalia for the Lord's service. By engaging the objects of the senses in Krishna's service, one automatically becomes detached from them. And as one passes one's days in the association of the Lord's devotees, one's transcendental ecstasy increases more and more through the discussions about the topics of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, one who wants to be free from the harassment of Maya in the form of sense gratification must constantly associate with pure devotees of the Lord who have no engagement other than chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord, carrying out His mission on the earth. Srila Madhvacharya has pointed out that just as one should cultivate friendship with devotees, one must cultivate a spirit of friendship towards the demigods who manage the universe on the Lord's behalf. Thus, one should live peacefully within this world. The sense, the purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayang Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Taru Vyashya Kripa Sindhu Vya Ebacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnamebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Hare Krishna. I think this is one of the most quoted verses in Srimad Bhagavatam about taking association of devotees. So before we begin about the topic today of discussion, I will tell you two stories, very interesting stories, and then we will tell how the stories relate to our topic. There was one devotee in a city, a couple in a city who were, this is a real story, who were very fond of eating fish. But, and like their whole life was devoted to eating fish. They just can't live without eating fish. And unfortunately, the place where they were staying, so they were not getting fish properly. And they were feeling very, very uncomfortable because in the market, the varieties of fish, those who are Bengalis, they know, it's a varieties. It's not just the fish, it's the varieties of the fish that matters. So they were not getting, and they heard that many kilometers away in one area in the city, there's a big fish market getting opened. Supermart of fish. And this couple, they were so obsessed with the fish that they sold off their house in the other corner of wherever they were staying. They purchased a new house near the fish market. You are all laughing. This is real story. and so much of happiness. Every day, different varieties of fish. All the owners of the fish market were very, very happy with this couple. They were like the star customers of this entire market. And they were also very, very happy. And fortunately or unfortunately, this fish supermarket was also near a ISKCON temple. And this devotee couple, one fine in the evening, they were walking on the road and they saw what's going on up. And they go up, and it was Karthik. And they met some devotees. And the devotees asked him to offer diyas. And they liked the experience with the devotees so much that every day in the Kartik they came, they offered diyas. One devotee made them chant Hare Krishna. And by now, this devotee, after some 6-7 months, they left fish. The purpose they came to this area. One of the fish businessman, who was the biggest businessman of that supermart, he came and complained to the temple president because he was not finding the customer. And then he came and saw that Hare Krishna ban gaya, tilak, kanti mala, jap mala. That's why he is not coming to our taking fish. He complained to the temple president that you were spoiling our business. This is the transformation of devotees. Story number 1. Story number 2. So, in Mayapur, I was there some 2, 3, 4 years before. I found one devotee from the same city, from the same temple, from the same area. This devotee was holding some books of Rupa Goswami. And I knew this devotee. He had done engineering and I knew him. And he's also from that city. I will not name the city. And I asked, what you are doing here? This devotee with all the books of Rupa Goswami said, I am searching for a pure devotee in Mayapur. I said, you're searching for a pure devotee in Mayapur? I didn't say anything to this devotee who is searching for a pure devotee. I did my job and came back. I had gone for some service in Mayapur. But sometimes, this is the first principle and this is what today's topic would be. Sometimes in the course of searching for a pure devotee, we fail to associate with our near devotee. And today's topic is the glory of near devotee, whoever is nearby. So we will see today the glory of association of mithaha, near devotee, mutual. So in this brahmachari or this devotee who was roaming in Mayapur belongs to the same area where such transformation is happening. Can you imagine a person selling off his own house and coming to another's place just to eat fish and dashing into temple, meeting the devotees in the temple, getting so much transformed that living fish in 6 months? And that devotee from that temple coming to Mayapur in search of pure devotees. So sometimes when we live too close together among devotees, we see their material outlook and their human nature that becomes so prominent with us that we forget to see them as devotees. As the saying goes, that familiarity breeds contempt. So sometimes neo devotees may be very, very powerful. They may be accomplishing so much in terms of transforming the whole world. But because we are staying so close to them, we are seeing them, how they are eating, how they are taking bath, how they are also falling and having diseases. So because we stay too close to them and we see them, their human aspect of the devotees becomes overly prominent in our Chaitanya, in our consciousness. And because that human aspect of devotees become too prominent, we forget to properly associate with the near devotees. And we start searching, oh, where is a pure devotee? As I get a pure devotee, I will start associating and advancing in Krishna consciousness. Every day in the morning we sing, Mahaprasade Govinde, Nama Brahmane Vaishnave, Swalpa Punyavatam Rajan, Viswasa Naiva Jayate. Mahaprasad, Govinda, Vaishnava, Brahmana and Harinam. When we have Swalpa Punya, when we have very less credits, we can never experience the power of these personalities. A Vaishnava may be very powerful, but because of our material outlook, we may overlook his association and we may not take advantage of the association of the Vaishnava. And that's why it is important that we understand from this verse the glory of those with whom we are staying day in and day out, the glory of the near devotees. So we will discuss some stories so as to understand this. So the first principle is, in the search of a pure devotee, we should not fail to associate with the near devotees. The story is about, that comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, about King Prataparudra. We see King Purushottam Dev and his wife Padmavati were very great personalities, and their marriage was a very divine marriage where King Prataparudra was born from Purushottam Dev and Padmavati. And Prataparudra Maharaj was extremely pious, and he was a great devotee of Lord Jagannath. And so much so that in his patronage, lot of services of Lord Jagannath improved. And he was a king, and under him there were 3-4 brothers, Gopinath Patnaik, Ramananda Rai, the son of Bhavananda Rai. All these personalities were also kings. And Prataparudra Maharaj, because Purushottam Dev's family and Bhavananda Rai's family were very close together, so Prataparudra Maharaj, when he became king, so he thought that we were friends, like Ramananda Rai, Prataparudra and Gopinath Patnaik. We are all friends, because you see the fathers were together, so that the sons were very much friends. And Prataparudra thought that if I become a king, and they should also be kings, otherwise it becomes very embarrassing, because we were childhood friends. Our families have childhood relationship. So Prataparudra Maharaj appointed Ramananda Rai, Gopinath Patnaik and all these devotees and the sons of Bhavananda Rai as kings of different sections. And as all of you know the story, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and Prataparudra Maharaj understood that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Nitai Gauranga ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So when Prataparudra Maharaj understood that from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, whom he considered as the spiritual master, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He immediately wanted an audience of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard from devotees that king wants to meet with him, he immediately rejected. Ha hanta hanta vishavakshananto. It is better for me to take poison than to meet King Prataprudra because he is a king. And devotees said, he is a devotee king. He said, Lord Chaitanya said, he may be a devotee king, but the word king attached to devotee spoils everything. Just like if there is one drop of poison in an entire glass of milk, the milk becomes untouchable. And the devotees came back and told King Prataprudra all these things. And how bad Prataprudra would have felt. And he said that let this kingdom go away. I'll not remain a king. And devotees encouraged him. No, you will get the mercy, because they wanted him to become the king. By the power of Prataprudra, the Mughals could not enter Kalinga, could not enter South India. That was the power of Prataprudra. The entire belt from the Mahanadi till the Godavari and much beyond, the Mughals could not enter because of the power of Prataprudra. That's the history of Odisha. So he was so powerful, and devotees wanted him to remain as king. But they also wanted him to get the audience of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And by that time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India and came back. And in South India, Lord Chaitanya meets Ramananda Rai, who is the king of Madras. And Lord Chaitanya says, "Hey, what you are doing here? You come. We will have Sankirtan in Puri." What is this kingly duties? And Ramananda Rai gets so inspired. He comes to Puri. He first comes to Cuttack and gives his resignation letter. And then he comes to Puri to inform Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he has finally come to Puri. And this is a discussion between Rai Ramanand and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when Ramananda Rai comes to Puri. Okay, all of you repeat. Rai kahe tumhara agya, Raja ke kahila. Tomar ichhaye Raja moro visaya chadaila. So Ramananda Rai said to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "Oh Lord, I told your desire to the king. And when the king heard that this is your desire, that I should give up the kingly duties, so the king was so happy. He gave me permission to give up all these Vishaya. Ami kahi ama hoite na hoye Vishay. Chaitanya charane raho jadi agya hoy." Ramananda Rai said, "Oh Lord, I said to the king that right now I am not able to, and I don't feel that I am qualified to do all these kingly duties. I just want to remain at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please give me permission." And then, you see what Ramananda Rai is telling. Tumar nama suni raja anandita hoila. Asane haite uthi more alingana kaila. Ramananda Rai said, "Oh Lord, when king heard about your name, he got up from the seat, he jumped and started embracing me. Tomar naam suni hoila mahaprema vesh. Mor hat dhari kare priti vishesh." Just by hearing your name, he got so absorbed with love of God. He held my hand and he said something priti vishesh, very special words. Now you hear what Prataprudra said to Ramananda Rai. Tomar je bartan tumi khao sei bartan. Nischinta hoya bhaja chaitanya charan. King Prataprudra said to Ramananda Rai that you don't have to leave. You can leave the job, but I will not let you leave the salary. You can just go and serve. Can you imagine if you get such a boss? We'll have no dearth of volunteers in ISKCON. And neither donations. We'll get volunteers also and donations also. So, tomar je bartan tumi khao se hi bartan. Whatever salary you have, that salary will continue. Only the job will terminate. And what will be your job? Nischinta hoya bhaja Chaitanya Charan. You just be completely relaxed. Because I am concerned that you have a family, and when you go and serve Lord Chaitanya, he doesn't have a family. How will you maintain your family? Then you will be in anxiety to maintain your family. Relax. I will give you salary by which you can be relaxed and you can worship Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. Ami chhara yogya nahi tara darashane. Tare jai bhaje tara safala jivane. King Prataprudra said to Ramananda Rai, I am a useless person. I do not have any qualification to even get his darshan, and you are getting opportunity to serve him. I will give you full salary. So just see, Ramananda Rai didn't exhibit any symptoms of pure devotee. Prataprudra Maharaj understood that he is also a king. I am also a king. I am rejected by Lord Chaitanya because I am a king. And here is my subordinate king. Lord Chaitanya is personally calling him to give his darshan, to give his association, to give his service. So we need to understand that sometimes we may be associating with pure devotees, but the pure devotees, it is Prataprudra Maharaj didn't consider, oh Ramananda, you are not a pure devotee. He saw here is an opportunity to serve the Lord by serving Rai Ramananda. By the time Rai Ramananda was exhibiting completely as a king, even Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was not able to understand the activities of Ramananda Rai. And we all know their family, Gopinath Patnaik. How was Gopinath Patnaik? So their family was considered a materialistic family. It was famous that they were also Bisais. Gopinath Patnaik was famous as a materialistic king. So Prataprudra Maharaj didn't consider, he is also a materialistic person, I am also a materialistic person. He is not a pure devotee. Why do I serve him? But he was ready to give up his envy. Because as this purport explains in the beginning, Srila Prabhupada's disciples write that when we come together in association of devotees, the devotees should give up their envy and quarrel among themselves and learn how to associate among themselves. So we need to understand that Prataprudra Maharaj, from the life of Prataprudra, that how he considered the opportunity to serve Ramananda Rai as an opportunity to serve the Lord. Though Ramananda Rai was externally behaving like a materialist, Prataprudra Maharaj didn't feel envious. Neither he compared materially that I am a better king, I serve Lord Jagannath, and you don't serve Lord Jagannath, so I am a better recipient of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. But he saw it, that let me serve Ramananda Rai and use this opportunity to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this from Ramananda Rai, then Lord Chaitanya said, Prabhu kahe tumi Krishna bhakata pradhan. তোমাকে যে প্রীতি করে সেই ভাগ্যবান. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh Ramananda Rai, you are the greatest among devotees. Whoever has offered any affection to you, his great fortune has opened up. Tomate je eto priti hoila rajara, ei gune Krishna tare karibe angikara." And because Pratap Rudra gave so much mercy to you, the king gave so much mercy to you, very soon the Lord will give his mercy to him. So in this way, we sometimes fail because of our materialistic outlook. We see here Pratap Rudra was not affected by materialistic outlook towards Ramananda Rai. Though he could have also seen Ramananda Rai with a materialistic point of view as a king, and he's the family of kings, and he is also a family of king. But instead of that, he saw Ramananda Rai as a recipient of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, and he also saw by serving Ramananda Rai, he will also one day become recipient of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So sometimes, because of our staying too close, we may also see the devotees near us from a materialistic outlook. And because we may see them as a materialistic outlook, we may not follow the activities mentioned in this verse. Paraspara anukathanam pavanam bhagavat yashaha. Because for us to do these activities that is mentioned in this verse, what are the activities? We'll read. The devotees of the Lord constantly discuss the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead this is the next one. Sorry. One should learn how to associate with the devotees of the Lord by gathering with them to chant the glories of the Lord. Right? And this process is most purifying. So sometimes because of a materialistic outlook towards devotees, we may not engage in doing the devotional activities very, very wholeheartedly with devotees, thinking that, oh, these devotees are normal devotees, these devotees are just, they are also just like that only. But we must understand that the near devotees are the most special devotees because they are near devotees. So the second principle, so this is the first principle that we discussed. In the search of pure devotees, we often fail to associate properly with the near devotees of the Lord. And we often fail to see the glories of the near devotee of the Lord. The second principle is that we need to understand that the near devotees have been sent by Krishna to make us pure devotees. Krishna has specifically sanctioned the near devotees for us to become pure devotees. I remember in 2009, that time I was in IIT, studying in IIT. I was one day sitting in the hostel preparing something. It was, I think, March or like that of 2009. So I was sending some mails. So I got a mail from Radheshyam Prabhu. And the mail had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The mail was exactly like I write mails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points about what all problems are there with me, what devotees have complained. And it was very, very difficult to digest. One point was also difficult to digest. And all the 10 points was really difficult to digest. The mail was forwarded as it is. Generally, purification happens as it is. It was not summarized with AI. That time there was no AI. I preserved the mail. So, and then this mail, as I read, it was a little difficult to digest. But then I remember, as I read the mail, I closed the laptop lid and I was doing something else. I forgot everything. I closed and sat down in meditation. And then I remember, over next, from 2009 till 11, 12, 13, 14, last so many years, I start meditating on the whatever devotees had said and everything. And then I realized from childhood how I had a very wrong conception of spiritual path and spirituality and spiritualist, how a spiritualist should behave, right? And because of which, because more of a Gyani type or whatever it is, like when I read in the Prahlad Maharaj's prayers, I don't know whether all of you know, there is a verse, Prayena Deva Munaya Swabhimukti Kama. So when I read this first time the verse, I came, oh, this was what I was in my childhood. All my activities from childhood were like that, like a solitude moni. I wanted to remain aloof from the society and not associate with anyone. So then I realized that those samskaras or impressions, maybe from previous life or my past understanding of what is spirituality and everything, has created a lot of problems with my parents, with my mother, with the devotees around. And I realized how that mail helped me to reflect and become more and more contemplative of how devotees can get disturbed by my presence, right? And that's how I started working upon my personality and really making it more tolerable from the intolerable side. And right now, if you ask my family members, my sisters, they're shocked. Almost like 2 years before, some devotees were talking with my sister. And my sister, when she heard about my activities, she said, "Are you sure? Is this my brother?" In my home, there was a big almirah of my sister, one sister, another big almirah of my another sister, one big almirah of my mother. In that big almirah, 90% was my mother's stuff, almost 80%. 18% were my father's, and 2% were my stuff. One pant used to really, जब फटता नहीं था तब तक मैं चेंज नहीं करता था. And my parents used to weird from where this item has come and how this. He used to not have any friends. He used to not talk with anyone. And my success from childhood, I was like topper. My success was irresistible for my mother. But my activities were very intolerable for her. It was very intolerable. So then I realized that how external presentation, because devotional path is completely different than a path of a Gyani, Yogi or a Karmi. A Gyani, Yogi and a Karmi, their main process is about detachment. The main process is about getting some knowledge. The main process is dependent on themselves. But I realized because of that mail, it made me really introspect and reflect that what path I am following and how it is important. Practically, in the beginning days, I used to only discuss about death, futility of material life. Devotees used to get so much afraid, even during prasadam. So it was now also I am intolerable. But sometimes the near devotees are the best devotees. Krishna has sanctioned their presence to help us get purified. As in this purport, it is mentioned that how one becomes automatically detached by staying with the devotees. And if you see this one word that is called nibrittir. Nibrittir means that by coming together and chanting, they give up the desire for material sense gratification. That means that the association that is being spoken of is not the association of pure devotees. Because pure devotees, they don't have to nivritti. Correct? So here it is said, parasparanu kathanam pavanam bhagavat yasa mithorati mithastushtir nivritte mitha atmanaha. Whatever the soul, whatever coverings the soul has got, whatever material coverings the soul has got, atmanaha nivritti. They immediately get nivritti of their material outlook by coming together. So this shows that this verse speaks about how in the association of practicing devotees, practicing sadhakas who may not be pure devotees, when we learn how to associate with them, read with them, chant with them, share Krishna consciousness with them, all our nivritti, mitha, all with that mutual association, one will get purified. So the first principle that is mentioned here is that we should learn how to associate with the near devotees. And second is, the near devotees are specifically sanctioned by Krishna to make us pure devotees. And there is another advantage of staying very close to devotees who also are sadhakas. It helps us, as this monk Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, thus they encourage one another to give up material sense gratification. One devotee will say to another, oh, you have given up sense gratification? Starting today, I shall also give it up. So sometimes when we are together, struggling together, it becomes very easy because the person also can share his own struggles in Krishna consciousness, and by sharing each other's struggles, we can also benefit from others' association. Sometimes it becomes little discouraging to stay with someone who has no struggle and to hear his story. It becomes, I think only you can do it. But when we stay together with struggling devotees, then we also get a hope. Sometimes when we preach to devotees and see how they were struggling at one point of time and how by the power of Krishna consciousness they have given up their struggles of material life and they have become so nice devotees, it boosts our faith. It gives us an encouragement that yes, the Krishna consciousness path is very encouraging, is very powerful. So in this way, that sometimes this association of struggling devotees who may not become pure devotees is very, very powerful. It can help us and give us encouragement and enthusiasm that, oh, just see this devotee. He has so much of difficulties, but he is so enthusiastic. I have less difficulty. I should be more enthusiastic. So this is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is telling. And that's how it is important for all of us to make a near devotee journal. To write down the glories of the near devotees, to meditate on the good qualities of the near devotees, and also meditate on what lessons we are learning by the association of near devotees. Like if I remember, so many wonderful lessons I have learned in the association of those whom I have stayed over last, maybe this is 20th year in ISKCON. So many good lessons. And it is important that we cherish these lessons in our heart. And whenever we see that devotee, we should immediately remember, oh, this is the devotee who is having this quality and who helped me, whose activities really inspired me in this way. And in this way, we can take advantage and appreciate those near devotees that are us. And the third principle is, we need to become dear to the near devotees. Because we will need to understand it's the near devotees that we are staying together now are the people who are going to chant Hare Krishna when we are passing away. No pure devotee is going to come to chant Hare Krishna for you. And if you do not, you mess up with the near devotees. Pure devotees also will not come and the near devotees will feel frustrated. अरे अच्छा हुआ मरा परेशान करके रखा था. आश्रम शांत हो गया. Devotees will not tell like that. They are very merciful. One time, His Grace Shankar Pandit Prabhu, one Mayapur brahmachari passed away, very old brahmachari. So, as you know, Shankar Pandit Prabhu takes care of all these things of Mayapur, health things. So, I was taking lunch and I said, Hare Prabhu, for last 2 days you are very busy, you are not looking. I was running around. He said, this brahmachari passed away. So, I said that to Shankar Pandit Prabhu, can you tell some good qualities of this brahmachari who passed away? And I will tell you, Shankar Pandit Prabhu didn't say, this devotee got so many devotees to Krishna consciousness. This devotee was like this, that devotee. What touched his heart was how this devotee so nicely behaved with other devotees. And how this devotee always wanted to serve other devotees. Maybe the whole world may not know, but during passing away, all the devotees remembered how this devotee gave such a wonderful experience to the other devotees during his presence. And that's how it is important that as we stay among with the near devotees, we should also understand that these are the near devotees who are going to come for our Savior when I am going to pass away. If I maintain good relationship with them, they will be merciful in helping me remember Krishna. And also, when we stay among near devotees, it is easier to serve them because we come to know what they require. Like, I remember last 1 or 2 years, almost 4 or 5 years, I am using iPhone. And always I tell to devotees that we should become a devotee like iPhone. If at 8 o'clock in the morning, I come and attend Bhagavatam class, I put focus that, in silent mode. After 3 times doing it, 4th time it automatically puts into silent mode. I was thinking that if I become a devotee like this, it's like Uttama Chintayat Kuryat. You don't have to tell. Android is like Proktakari Cha Madhyama. This is like Uttama Sisya, Uttama Bhakta. So, and I have, over last so many years, I have understood the characteristics of iPhone, and I think I should become like this, a servant of Krishna, a servant of devotees. And it is only possible for some Maharaj, someone who is staying in another corner of the world, very difficult to know what they like and what they don't like. It is also important that when they come, we serve them. But it is also important because it is very easy for us to understand with whom we are staying around, what they like, what they don't like. And if we please them, Krishna has sanctioned their association for us. And Krishna is looking from top that how we are behaving with the near devotees. And if we do that, Krishna will be very pleased. And that's how in the 25th Silver Jubilee anniversary of ISKCON Chaupati, I was hearing the entire Brahmotsam festival and hearing the glorification and all those things. I don't know when it happened. It recently happened. Some years before. 2-3 years, whatever. So Her Grace Visakha Priya Devi, Mataji, wife of Dwarkadis Prabhu, said a very interesting thing. She said, "O Radha Gopinath, my only prayer is, if I am not qualified to go back to Godhead, you please ensure that I am born again in ISKCON Chaupati congregation." And we must understand that is how closely connected with the near devotees they are. So it is important that we develop such close and thick relationship with the near devotees and learn how to associate with them without quarreling and envying. Quarrel and all those things are possible and it will happen. But we need to understand that mitha nibritti. We really meditate and reflect that Krishna has specifically sanctioned my presence in this association of devotees. And if I serve the devotees very nicely, Krishna will be very pleased with me. So it is, I'll just revise to summarize. First, we discussed about how in the course of searching a pure devotee, we sometimes fail to associate with the near devotees around us. We fail to see them as devotees, and we only see them with a material outlook and not see them as devotees. Then we saw the example of Prataprudra and Ramananda Rai, who were also two kings, but Prataprudra Maharaj didn't see Ramananda Rai with a material outlook, but he saw an opportunity for advancing in Krishna consciousness by serving him, right? Though he was just a near devotee at that time for Prataprudra. And then we discussed about the next principle, how the near devotees are specifically chosen by Krishna, sanctioned by Krishna for our purification. And then we discussed about how our struggles and whatever we are going through in the association of near devotees, it's very encouraging because they are also struggling and we are also struggling. We can help them and they can help us. We can take advantage and appreciate. And we should always make a near devotee journal. We should always meditate on what lessons I have learned from the devotees with whom I have interacted over last so many years. And the last principle we discussed is becoming dear to the near devotees, serving the near devotees. And because we need to understand, these are the devotees with whom right now I am regularly associating, are the devotees who are going to help me at the time of death when I just can't remember Krishna. So if we make good relationship with them and they are merciful, they will help me remember Krishna. They are my savior. And we should always pray that let these near devotees with whom I am there, let, O Krishna, with all these devotees only with whom right now I am associating, let all these devotees, I continue associating with them eternally in Shri Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Sorry, we don't have any time for questions.